Right, so very good afternoon, everyone. Okay, cool. So here's the game. When I came today to Coimbatore, this is my second trip here from Delhi. I had a very different thought coming here. The thought was fairly simple. There are going to be SMEs in the room, right? And I represent a company called PayUmoney. Just a quick show of hands. How many of you know PayUmoney already? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, cool. Right. And it's pretty obvious, right? So when Satish said that there's an event happening here, he categorically mentioned, he said, come but don't sell. And I said, that's exactly what we're going to do. Not sell. Not a freaking bit. I'll tell you why. Before PayUmoney, I've been an entrepreneur twice before in my life. My last startup, which actually failed, was accelerated by Intel in Berkeley in Silicon Valley. Came back to India, wasn't able to raise funds, didn't do, went through a lot of investor meetings and so on and so forth, but we failed. So just like a lot of other speakers today since morning that you've sort of heard, right? The interesting bit is for every person in the room, what has really worked is failure. And that exactly is what Jack Ma says. Read this book called Alibaba, right? In his book, Jack says something very interesting. And he says, failure for me is success. And that is true. Now, here's what I'm going to start with. So I've got a couple of slides. By the way, each one of these slides have got nothing to do with PayUmoney at all, and I promise you that. Each one of these slides actually is a case study, which I would like to share in 1 minute each. Practical stuff, no gyan, no bullshit. The moment you find any BS out there, just let me know. By the way, what you are actually seeing on screen right now is something very interesting. Couple of weeks back, me and my wife, we went for a holiday to Bangkok. Now, generally, when you sort of go to a city like Bangkok, you don't ever intend to come back enlightened, do you? I mean, it's Bangkok, right? You're basically going there to have fun. Interestingly, I met a very interesting gentleman there. He is the architect of the Royal Cemetery and the Royal Grand Palace of Bangkok. We spoke about death. And it was powerful. It was really powerful. When I was sitting at the Bangkok airport to sort of catch my flight back to Delhi, something struck. And it changed my life forever. I promise you that. Today, as I stand in front of you, obviously I do represent a company called PayUmoney, which is one of India's leading online payments company. But what I need to today passionately start with is something very interesting. When this whole realization struck me at the Bangkok airport, I said, I want to run with a mission in life. And that mission, thanks to all my friends since morning, they've already manifested it for me today with each one of you. And that mission is to make 100 million people in the world break away from stress and live meaningfully. When I thought of this mission, I said, look, 100 million people, how can Paritosh reach out to 100 million people, help them break away from stress? Just for your information, by the way, today stress is actually the biggest killer. We know about some of the largest diseases, right? Some of the most dangerous ones. Stress actually is the biggest one of them. And I said, there's no better way than creating content online. And that's what I started doing. I started a website called Guru and Me. GuruandMe.co is what it is called. We today became, I wouldn't say we, this is not a company, this is no nothing. All that we're doing is, we are the one source on the web that talks about the most brilliant life-improving advice that the world's biggest thinkers are giving. So everyone from Sri Ravi Shankar to Sadhguru to some of the best people out there. And I'll tell you why am I doing this. Just for a simple reason. Every day when you get up, if you read such incredible piece of information, Everyone since morning who's tried to motivate you, who's tried to inspire you, you would get all of it here, get inspired, get motivated, get charged to do one thing, and just one thing, which is take control of your life. I'm going to move on very, very quickly now. So I was told to talk about growth, right? Why so? For a simple reason. I actually do a lot of workshops all over India with a lot of startups, and these are called the Startup Growth Masterclasses. Now, I'm going to move across very, very quickly. Everyone in this room, let's start with magic. And this is what I wanted to start with. Just take out your smartphones, basic phones, whatever phones that you have. Try giving a missed call on this number. It's absolutely free. Just try doing it very, very quickly. Anyone who wants to do it, totally your choice. And by the way, as I said, every slide that I had today is a practical slide, right? This is one of the biggest growth hacks that I'm going to share with you right now. And it's just going to be a missed call, by the way. It won't be charged for you. It's free. It will automatically disconnect itself. So the number for everyone is 7210141440. Okay. Cool. So if everyone has already noted down this number, interestingly, what happens after you give this missed call is this. We realized at PayUmoney how seamless and how easy can I make for anyone across India to get online payments. This is the simplest method. The moment you actually give a missed call, the number reaches back to us, we reach back to you. And within 24 hours, 48 is what the slide says, but within 24 hours, you're online. When I say you're online, your business can start taking online payments. Now, it was as simple as that. Just so that you know, these are exactly the kind of growth hacks that today your business requires. Every slide that I'm going to actually share with you will have a similar growth hack. And why am I someone relevant to talk about it? I was once part of a very interesting venture in India called Hike Messenger. Anyone heard of Hike? Interesting, guys. Okay, cool. So I was employee number 29th at Hike Messenger. Saw the app from 0 to 5.5 million downloads. Brilliant stuff, right? So here's the thing. Patanjali. Anyone heard? Baba Ramdev. I'm sure everyone have heard of Baba Ramdev, right? 3,000 freaking crore brand. That's brilliant, right? And one guy who started with a pharmacy. Now, everyone probably in this room would have their own views on Patanjali as to how did it happen. Here's my view of it. Simple stuff. Look, Patanjali worked on basics that stand true for every human, and thanks to my friend, he's already sort of manifested that for everyone, which is, look, since morning, I've seen something as a trend in this room. What I actually realized was this. Everyone has been talking about business, money, growth, challenges, failures. Trust me. Sir, you, me, everyone right here. We all have the same challenges in life, don't we? We all hate traffic. Health is obviously topmost priority for all of us. So is happiness. So is self-realization. By the way, Patanjali is today the biggest and the most successful story out there. The one and the only lesson that you got to learn out of this slide is this. Be the most insanely great storyteller out there. So as the founder, as the co-founder, as whoever, as the owner of your company, ensure that you are able to tell an insanely great story. Steve Jobs did it. Baba Ramdev is doing it daily, right? Case 2, PayUmoney. Obviously, I had to talk about my company, right? Okay, jokes apart. But there's something very interesting in the slide. At PayUmoney, we realized something very, very critical, and we said, every business right now in this room, and I'm not kidding, every business right now in this room, we are an 850 people company funded by Naspers. We could right now go ahead and build some of the sexiest looking dashboards, the most amazing looking, awesome technology that you want to see, and I would probably sort of go out there in the press and talk great stuff about it. We don't. The biggest feedback that we got from our customers, the largest of them are actually SMEs, so we have over 1 lakh of merchants today on board, You know, what they told us is this. I went to Ahmedabad for a workshop. Kapda bechne wale. I'll repeat that in English. People who sell cloth retailers from Ahmedabad, they said, look for me, online payments. I don't need a payment gateway on my website.